Okay, today lesson 4 is about the divided bar graph. So the same data is going to be used. We have our crunchy, summer roll, cherry ripe, dairy milk, and please write those numbers in. That's our results from way back in lesson 1. Yep, write it all down, please. Ivy, do this, please. Not last lesson, but 2 lessons ago when we were doing the sector graph, to work out the angle, can anyone hands up tell me how to find the angle of a sector graph? Yes. Perfect, well done. The same thing is going to happen for the divided bar graph. We're still going to make the fraction, but we don't times by 360. What we times by is the length of the bar that we want to make, because a divided bar is one big long rectangle that we're going to divide up into the right lengths for each section. Okay, now I suggest, what I always do is I make my bar 10 centimetres long, because it's something that fits easily on the page and it's a nice number to use. So for my calculation, which we're putting next to our tally lines here, we do the fraction again. Remember that this was out of 26 down here. So for the crunchy, 11 out of 26 people liked crunchies, and I'm going to times it by 10 because 10 centimetres is going to be the length of the bar. Please make sure you're writing this down, because when you're looking back at this later when you have to do them, you'll have a reminder there on what to do. The summer roll. Okay, so the next one we were going to calculate was the summer roll. The summer roll, there was one person out of 26, and we times that by the 10. Cherry ripe, everyone quiet please. Cherry ripe was 4 out of 26. I need to write that bigger, sorry, it's a bit small. 4 out of 26 times by 10. And dairy milk was 10 out of 26 times by 10. So I haven't calculated them yet, so I'm going to put my equal signs there, and I'm going to get my calculator out. So the first one, I type it in, 11 over 26, push the across button, and then go times by 10. Okay, my calculator gives me a fraction, which is pretty hard to measure on your ruler, a fraction, so press the SD button to make it a decimal. Now we can do 1 decimal place on our rulers pretty easily because we have the millimetres, but anything beyond that is too hard to be accurate. So we're just going to round these to 1 decimal place. So that will be 4.2 because the 3 will round down. So 4.2 for that first one. If you have it in your calculator, you don't need to retype it. All you need to do is your back arrows and change your 11 into a 1. And there is my fraction for my next one, which would round to be what? 0. No. 4. Because the next number is an 8, it will need to round up. 0.4. Use the back arrows again. Make sure you're trying this with me. You should all have your calculators. And the next number should be a 4. So it's 1 point. Correct. Next one, back arrows. Change it to a 10. And to 1 decimal place, 3 point. Correct. Now, what do you think those 4 numbers should add to? 10, because I'm going to make a 10 centimetre bar. So let's see how close I am. 4.2 plus 0.4 plus 1.5 plus 3.8, 9.9. I'm always just that little bit out, aren't I? That's okay, that's just a rounding error. No, make sure you round correctly or you will lose marks. 3 over 8. Press the fraction button and you got 0.38. Bad?
Yeah, one of them is 0.
Maybe it's in one of your calculator settings. What have you done?
I don't know. But, oh, what are you saying?
Okay, so once you have those measurements, let's draw our graph. So with your rulers, does everybody have their rulers? No, 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 no. No, because last lesson, people took his rulers and were silly with them. You need your own equipment. You don't count on somebody else to bring their calculator or their ruler. You bring your own things, please. You need a ruler and it needs to have centimeters on it because we need to measure lengths today. So hands up one more time, who needs a ruler? And next week, make sure that you have one, please. You can buy this big, that's all you need. Really? Okay. All right. Now, with your ruler, you are going to very accurately measure a 10 centimeter line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mouth closed and drawing, please. Watch. Mouth closed. Okay, it doesn't matter the height of the bar, but don't make it too small. Probably about 1.5 centimeters would be a good height. You make it 10 centimeters long, and I said the height is not a compulsory thing, but something about 1.5 is usually a good height to do. Don't be silly. Okay, quiet please. Each of the measurements that I've calculated, so the first one was 4.2. Going back to the start of my rectangle, you need to measure 4.2 centimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4.2 on mine is there. Okay, draw a vertical line at that point. 10 centimeters for the whole bar and 4.2 centimeters for the first little part. Year 7, I need you to listen because I'm repeating myself a lot because people aren't listening. No, no. Hands up if you need to ask a question. So I want you to label on here 4.2 centimeters because that's what we've measured. And you also need to label that that is the crunchy section. These need to be measured and they need to be done with a ruler. If you are trying to freehand any of this, if I was marking it, you're going to get marked down. They need to be ruled, okay? Next section is my summer roll, which needs a length of 0.4. So it's a very little section. So with your ruler, try to measure 0.4 centimeters. Put a little mark and then a vertical line at that mark. So right at the bottom, 0.4 centimeters, that's what we've measured. And if you can write it in there, try and write it in the box. But if you can't quite fit like me, can you please put up your hand if you want to speak? If you can't quite fit like me, then please draw an arrow and write it above, which is what I was about to say, which is why you should probably wait to yell out, okay? Yep, the millimeter side will be more accurate, correct. Okay, next section is our cherry ripe, which is 1.5. So measure 1.5, put a little mark, turn your ruler and do the vertical line. So this is 1.5 centimeters and that is the cherry ripe. And that means I shouldn't have to do anything for my last one, but it's good to check. My last space should be 3.8. Let's make sure. Let's see how accurate we've been. 1, 2, 3 point. Mine probably looks about 3.7. That's close. Guys, please don't yell out. Don't yell out. If it's not accurate, why is the question you've got to ask yourself. And how can you do a better job? Because we need to try and get these accurate because it's all about how we present our data. So we've done it once. Let's do it again with our skittle colours. Don't yell out, please, year 7. You should be quiet. Please write down in your table the colours that we had were red, green, orange, purple, and yellow. I didn't have any blue. They were the colours in my bag. Don't yell out, please. Shh. The numbers that we had were 5, 2, 5, 1, 1. And because we need the fraction, remember, I'm going to have to add all those numbers together, which is a total of 14. Okay, now it's time to do our calculations. For the red ones, I have 5 red out of my 14, and I'm going to times it by what number? 10. Luke, next time you're out, okay? No more yelling out. Times it by 10, so we're going to make a 10 centimetre bar. I'll save all my calculations for the end. I'm going to do all my working out first. My next one's going to be 2 out of 14 times by the 10. Orange is back to 5 out of 14 times by 10. Purple is 1 out of 14 and 1 out of 14 for yellow as well. Okay, so that's all my working out. Now we need to use the calculator. I want you guys to do it this time. Addison. It is a 5. Yes, so it's very small, sorry. I need to make that a bit neater. It is a 5. Oh, still looks like a 6. 5 out of 14. All right, hands up. Who has calculated the first one to 1 decimal place? Alfie, yes. Correct. Somebody else, please, because I need to make sure you guys actually calculated this, and I can still see a few people that don't have calculators. Ziggy, what's yours? Sorry?
Is it? Yes.
It is 1.4. The next one, you probably don't need to calculate it again because it's the same as the first one, so it should be 3.6 again. And one more for purple. Don't yell out. Alfie, you've done one, thank you. I appreciate you've done it, but we need some more people involved here. No, don't yell out. Hayden. No. Did you have your hand up? Toby? No. Luke? 0.7. Okay, the last one is also 0.7 because those last two are the same size. Okay, accurately. Yes, Alvin. Yeah, oh, good, yes. Let's check it. Take your books and go outside, please. 3.6 plus 1.4 plus 3.6 plus 0.7 plus 0.7 equals exactly 10. Oh, come on. We finally got one exactly right. Okay. Oh, I just meant there was no rounding error. It was perfectly right. Okay, let's draw our bar graph. So 10 centimetre bar. Yep. Make sure it's accurate. The height Just keep it the same at both ends. Make it wide enough that you've got somewhere to write in there. You need some space to write your names in there, your colours. Okay, and now we start measuring. My first one was 3.6. So across the bottom, start at the very beginning, line it up very carefully. 3.6. Put a little mark, turn your ruler and draw a vertical line at that mark. Okay, so that is 3.6 centimeters by writing down what I've measured, and that was for the color red. Next, the green one is 1.4. 2.4, so it's going to go right there for me. Turn it sideways. Oh. What's the matter, Ivy? You start from where the 0 is. And so that was 1.4 for green. Then orange is 3.6. And draw your line. That is for orange, 3.6 centimeters, and 0.7, 2 little ones. Just put it there.
2 questions in for this.
I can't help you now. Pass. Are you finished? I can only mark one answer. Hurry up. So this is purple, and this one was yellow. Hey, there is one thing that I haven't done that I really should do, and I didn't do it on my other graph either. What is it? Oh, that title. It's very easy to forget it. All right, we need titles. All our graphs need titles. So I'm going to put Skittle. Skittle color. And I should go back and do it on my other graph as well. This was for our favorite chocolates. 7R's favorite chocolates. Okay, so make sure you have those titles in there. Okay, that's how you do a divided bar.